please note that this is a non-spoiler review, and let's go ahead and jump right into this. You get to follow Loki, and this book is kind of set in the same timeline as the MCU Marvel Cinematic Universe. So the Loki that you meet here is kind of the Loki before the first Thor film, and teenagers, and they're both trying to prove their father who is a better fit for the crown of Asgard and who will be ruling Asgard once their father kind of gives up the crown. And in that process, of course, Loki kind of comes off as this more mischievous kind, because that's just who Loki is. And the only person that understands Loki truly well is this sorceress at Asgard called Amora. And Amora kind of, is one of these witches who lends Loki her high heels because she knows that Loki likes wearing them, and Loki is very, very flamboyant, and he doesn't care about what the society thinks of himself, and he would just do what he wants. And she kind of gets attracted to that, and vice versa for Loki as well. And both of these guys sort of team up together, and they end up doing something which they shouldn't have done, and that results in Amora being banished from Asgard to Midgard, which is Earth. And no matter how hard Loki tries, of course, he cannot change the decision of his father. And then we kind of do a time jump, and both Loki and Thor are still going out and trying to prove themselves to their father. But Loki is being given this task of this duty to go to Midgard, and which is Earth again, and he's supposed to look into a series of murders that are happening, and nobody knows what exactly is the cause. Now Loki naturally, he considers going to Midgard really below him, because Thor on the other hand is going to space, different places in space, and he's kind of given more important duties and important conquests, and Loki doesn't feel the need to be going amongst the humans. So he's not ready, but he still has to go, because he still has to complete that mission. So he initially approaches in the Victorian historic London, and he kind of meets these two people who he's supposed to work with, and one of this guy is Noah. And things just happen from there, and we get to see who is this murderous mystery person, and what exactly is the problem, and how Loki is able to solve that problem or not. Essentially, at the end of the day, this book is about questioning that when your fate is already written, when you already are termed and described as the biggest god of mischief and god of disgust and god of this and god of that, and you're kind of made the bad person, then does it really matter if you do good things? So the whole concept of good versus bad and your destiny versus what you do kind of comes in. First thing that I really would like to point out that I absolutely enjoyed was the voice. I think that one of the greatest strength for this book personally for me, and the reason why I could read it right from the first page to the last page, was because of the way Loki's voice is written, and that is absolutely spot on. I don't know whether Mackenzi Lee was like a assistant or kind of one of the co-writers on the MCU set, on the MCU films, but even if she was not, then she's done a great and a phenomenal job, because I could completely see Loki, like in my mind I was imagining a younger version of Tom Hiddleston, and doing all of these things, wearing heels and being gender queer. And yes, Loki in this book is gender queer. It's not exactly specified whether he is bisexual or whether he's pansexual. There is a place where you would get to figure out what it is, and of course if I tell you that, then it would potentially be a spoiler, so I will not. But there are LGBTQIA themes. The reason why I'm not particularly happy with the way LGBTQIA themes was handled was because I was expecting a full-fledged romance, and something that that tells me that okay, Loki is genderqueer, or he's different and he's not straight. And while all of that kind of still happens, it's so less, and it's so much in the background and so much off page, and kind of happens really late towards the end, that I kind of lost my patience and lost my interest by the time it happens. And because of the fact that whatever happens is so trivial in its sense, because it's so short, you don't really get to see the significance of it. I mean, it was just like touching the tip of the iceberg, wherein you still had a lot to explore, and it kind of felt like a missed opportunity to me, in my opinion. Apart from that, I think that the writing was really great. I think Mackenzie Lee has a very distinct style of writing, and if anybody has read the Gentleman series, then you would definitely understand what I'm trying to say. She also gets the setting very right, and that is again not a surprise because she is and has been writing historical fiction for quite some time. So when she approaches the Victorian London, you kind of get to feel the whimsical and lyrical nature of the times that she is writing in and writing for. The only biggest drawback for this book, and personally the thing that disappointed me the most, apart from the LGBTQIA rep, which was kind of done here badly, was the fact that the story kind of loses its focus a lot of times, and it kind of meanders in the middle. And by the time the climax happens and the big reveal, the plot twist that happens, you've kind of already predicted it from really far. At least I did. I saw it coming ever since Loki kind of stepped into Midgard. If not just stepped into Midgard, then at least after like a couple of pages into when he had stepped on Midgard. And when it came, I thought that I was expecting that something else would also happen, but that was not really the case. That was it. And of course, I can't again tell you because spoilers, but it was not really nice. And I felt that it could have been a lot better. The plot was really weak in that sense, and I did not really enjoy myself as much as I thought I would. So I ended up giving this book a 3 out of 5 stars, which is not a very good rating, which again, it's not really a bad rating as well. So it was kind of like a hit or miss opportunity to me. So go in if you like Loki, go in if you are currently watching Marvel's Loki on Disney Plus and you're kind of in a hangover mood, and you will like it, but don't expect too much out of it because it's not one of the best Loki retellings or Loki books out there. So yes, that's pretty much it for this one, and I hope if you have not subscribed to my channel, then you would do that because every single subscriber to me really counts because my channel is still pretty small for some reason. Anyway, I will be seeing you super soon. If you have this book and or you're enjoying the Loki web series that came out on Disney Plus, then do let me know down in the comment section below what you felt, because even in the MCU version of the Disney Plus show, we could see that Loki was, bisexual, and even though there is no relationship that happens there, but still there's like a potential ship that I can still see myself shipping. And keep reading, and bye.